Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the FearFans podcast. I'm your host, Don Elmy, and here with me is my co-host, Nick Muley, and our co-host, Jill, should be joining us soon. I just sent her the link to sign in. But last week we talked about Nightmare on Elm Street, and this was one of my favorite horror films of all time. It's one of the biggest slasher films during the slasher craze of the '80s, and this was a huge success for New Line Cinema, who was basically counting on this one film to bring their company from the ground up. They bet just about everything on the success, and it paid off tremendously. I mean, wow, it's just amazing how they just bet on this, and it really, yeah, really, Nick, it's just incredible how New Line started from this.
Oh, absolutely. Mr. Nice Guy, I didn't know about this. It's coming on to HBO Max.
Of Nightmare on Elm Street coming out soon on HBO Max. Oh, is he talking about like how like they're putting the original Nightmare on Elm Street on HBO Max, because that's been on there for some time now, like the Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
I don't know. To be honest with you, I really don't know. Oops, sorry.
It's all right.
Hey,
It's all right. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. Yes, I still have the glove.
Yeah. Oh, and Don, very quickly, just so you know, because I remember for last show I had that accident in the basement. Well, I'm proud to say our basement now is fully recovered, so I'm officially back in my desk, and I'm also back into the position I was before. So it dried up. The entire video game corner area is dried up, including where I usually have my desk. So it's good to be back in my usual spot.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. That's good to hear, Nick. Yeah. So, yeah, this, and of course, with this huge success of Nightmare on Elm Street, they just knew they had to make a sequel. And when this became a huge hit in the box office, they decided, you know what, we need to get a sequel off the ground as quick as possible. And they did it so quickly that they released this film, Nightmare on Elm Street 2: Freddy's Revenge, the very next year in 1985. Yeah. Thank you,
Jeremy's got a question.
Or just made to look real. Yeah, they're made to look real. Yeah, these are not these are not metal. They're not actual blades. So no. But there have been some people have been saying that, oh, if you love the Nightmare on Elm Street, maybe you should get a blade that had like a razor glove that has actual blades on it. It's like I feel conflicted on that because yes, it would be cool to have an actual like just like in the movie, just something to like but at the same time, it would technically count as a weapon. And like it's like for the parties that I have in this place, people over who come in and out, and
you would just be slicing everybody.
no, it's not that. I'm worried about someone getting a hold of it.
Oh, okay. I was thinking otherwise.
But yeah, like and also not to mention that sometimes I have my niece and my nephews who come here, and oh god, I don't even want to think about what would happen if they got a hold of it.
That's probably not such a good idea.
Yeah, Jesus. And yeah, I mean the oldest of them, my niece Maeve, she's about to turn six in 2 weeks. They're growing up way too quick on me, man.
Yeah, definitely. They grow fast. They always grow up fast. Okay, I gotta bring this up for next. Yes, Nick's. I gotta ask you, Don, have you watched it yet?
I haven't had the chance to. I want to see it. But I've been busy lately. Tonight, I'm just gonna fall asleep watching it. I don't care.
You gotta watch. I watched the first episode. It was great.
I gotta see it. Yes, I'm tonight after this podcast. I'm watching it. I'm tuning in. I'm going on to my HBO.
You gotta check it out. It's really well done.
I'm putting it on my smart TV. This is gonna be great. Let's see.
It's basically that kind of show. I'm just going to say this very quickly, just right before we get back. I'm just going to say, I don't want to say too much, but it really is one of those shows where as soon as I saw it and the entire premise was like, all right, I'm in, let's watch this. And then as soon as the episode was over, it's like, I'm ready for the next one. Like, I'm just like begging for I think it was like Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday night. I just keep begging for it to arrive already so I can see the next episode. So yeah, you got to check it out. It's a really good show. It's great. I may have never played the game before, but the show is fantastic.
Dude, play it. You got to play it.
It's coming up. Well, the game is going to be on Steam, however.
Well, I mean, hey, and also I do have a PS5 too. So like anytime you want to take a look at it. But I will warn
You
you
have it?
though, I do, but I will warn you though, the opening of the game is sad as hell. Like really, it's a oh man, I can't even say it out loud. You have to experience it for yourself.
You know
Man,
what? I'm gonna have to compare it because the opening for the I don't want to say too much, for the show. It's kind of the same way from what I've seen. So, but no, you got to watch the show though. It's really well done, and yeah, let's next time over your place, let's give it a try. At least so I could watch it. I would buy it from Steam, but the only problem is, first off, it's not available yet on Steam. You could purchase it. The problem is though, it is expensive as hell. It's like $60 to
that's the
purchase. So
usual.
I mean, for
Yeah,
any
it's like,
new game, they're usually pretty expensive, or especially a very popular one. So for me to eventually get it, I'll have to wait until not only after it comes out, and also because of it's probably also expensive due to the popularity of the television show. But more importantly, if I ever get the chance to get it, it'll have to be during one of those holiday sales where I can get it for less that price, because $60 for a game is just way too expensive. So, but yeah,
yeah,
check it
I'm,
out though. Great show.
yeah. I'm just about to get that game Dead Space myself, that remake. Yeah, I'm thinking about. I'm
Awesome.
considering. I'm considering doing gaming videos on it. Because now I have the way to stream it. So yeah, I'm considering it. So yeah, so everybody who's subscribed to me, I'm giving you a little something to look forward to. Oh, here it would be like the slasher rap scene from Scary Movie. Oh, I noticed. Like if I had people coming in here. Wow, just
And
wow.
yes, Jeremy, definitely check it out. Last of Us. It's a really good show.
Yes. Let's see. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Hide
I
it
was
from your
clicking
niece
on
and
that.
nephew. Yeah. Yeah, I could, but at the same time, it's just like, oh man, it's like I'm trying to figure out where exactly I would put it, but I don't know. I still need to see it. Oh
He's
yes,
talking about Last of Us.
I figured. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I gotta see it too.
What's up,
Hey,
DJ?
DJ, great to see you. Man, thank you so much for tuning in. Yep, man, we've got quite a movie for you guys today. Nightmare on Elm Street 2. They made it clear to the from the very beginning that they wanted this to be not just a simple rehash of the original film, as we've seen a lot of sequels do. They wanted to have a completely different kind of tone to it, different character. Because this is actually this is the only Nightmare on Elm Street film in the whole series to have like a male protagonist going against Freddy.
I noticed that. I just realized that, to be honest with you, is that all the other Nightmare on Elm Street films, including the originals, usually the female lead, but this is the only one that has a male lead to it.
Male lead,
So
yes.
it's
And
like you can kind of consider it almost like one of the very few, because there's always what you see in the slasher films, the final girl. It's like one of the few times where you have the final guy in this case, which is relatively rare for a slasher film.
yeah, that's right. And Mark Patton, who plays the role of Jesse, the main character, he made this into like the what everybody's considering the first male scream queen on this, because like
Scream King,
scream
sometimes they
yeah,
call him.
call him Scream King, but I know a lot of people refer to it as queen, but I don't want to say anything that's gonna offend. There's a lot
Yeah,
of
I know.
oh yeah, Jeremy's saying there's a lot of undertones in this movie. Yes, so
Yep.
this Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is considered to be one of the gayest horror films, because it has a lot of these like undertones, like Jeremy said, because there are like very suggestive moments in this where involving a S&M club that the gym teacher Schneider hangs out in, and the fact that he's there's like a little bit of male nudity in this. So
It
yeah,
definitely
it's
stands out, and for a gym teacher who has it, that's quite an unusual lifestyle to live in. I mean, that's some weird thinking.
it's like, I mean, I pass no judgment on people who are like that, but I mean, if anything, this film was just trying something different. I do respect it for that, just trying to not be the exact same as the first film. And I actually did find out in later years that Mark Patton actually is homosexual.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he actually. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that's just coincidental in this, because he didn't reveal it until like later years.
Right.
Because
Jeremy also makes a good point here. It's also this movie where some of the dialogue was contributed to Nightmare on My Street with Will Smith.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Great. That's a good song, by the way.
Yeah, I've heard it. It's great stuff.
I have
Yeah.
that. I have that song on my Halloween musical list. What's up, Kyle?
Hey,
Got a
Kyle.
new viewer here.
Hey,
Good to see you.
good to see you.
Welcome.
Thank you for tuning in. Yep, we're talking about Nightmare on Elm Street 2. And Nick, I actually researched Mark Patton. I looked up his name recently, and I've never thought I would start this off on a very serious note, but Mark Patton was actually hospitalized on Saturday because of he complications that he's been having from AIDS.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
but he's been like setting up he set up a GoFundMe account that to help out with his medical expenses, and it actually did a tremendous job with it. It's like made about I want to say almost double what his goal was. So like, like I'm just hoping, like the last update I got of him was like 2 days ago, and I'm just hoping he's doing better, like because I mean AIDS, there's been like advances in treatment that but I mean obviously still not a good thing to have, obviously,
right.
but at the same time it's just good to know that he still does have a fighting chance with medical treatments, and like, so I'm hoping he'll pull through.
How old is he?
63.
Okay. Oh, he's about my dad's age then.
Yeah, mine too.
This is done. Jeez, this is I don't remember this name before. Looks
I believe I've seen his name. He comments in some of
okay.
my videos. Yeah, I know.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say it just seems like we're starting to get some new viewers here. Enjoyed Men in Black, and well, yeah. DJ, just in case you didn't know, the song called Nightmare on My Street, which I'm sure we're going to talk about in a later episode because it is somewhat associated with one of the later Nightmare on Elm Street movies. This was pre-Men in Black, Will Smith. This was when he actually had a hip-hop career before he started getting into acting.
Yeah, this is right before his he rose to fame with Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And in one episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, there was this one scene in like an early episode. It was in the first season where Will was like hiding in the back when Carlton was driving out and on the road, and he just raised up a Freddy glove. He was hiding in the back seat. He didn't know he was there. Will just dressed up as Freddy, raised the glove, and just scared Carlton.
And I'm just gonna say this now. All this talk about Will Smith, and this was long before the incident where he punched Chris Rock in the face.
Yep, that was unforgettable evening to put it one way.
I had no idea that was going to happen in his future.
I mean, to be fair, Will Smith actually did offer apology and said, "Hey, like if whenever you want to talk to me, I'm always here."
Yeah.
So he did try to do. I mean, wrong was done from both ends. Like I didn't like what Chris Rock said about making fun of Will's wife's condition, saying because of her baldness. I'm just thinking, dude, that's not cool. She's got alopecia. But but what Will Smith did was worse. Went up and just socked him like that. But
Jill's in the house.
Hopefully,
Jill?
Hey,
Hi.
Well, I'm. Hey, Jill, my mistake. I forgot you can't like sign in through like the normal like account on the StreamYard like Things Network like Nick and some people did. That's my bad. I should have sent you the link over an hour ago.
Oh yeah. Oh, I kind of also lost track of the timing here, and so I was like, wait, am I supposed to get a link or how does this work? So I'm glad you sent it because I was like a little confused what to do.
Oh no, hey Jill, that was my fault completely. I
That's
forgot.
fine.
I should have sent you that link.
And also, I'm sorry because I've been trying to connect and get the link to work because I'm still trying to figure out like how my computer actually works.
It's okay. Well, hey, you're here. That's the important thing.
I'll get it down eventually, you guys.
Yes.
I promise.
Yeah. So yeah, we were just talking about how Nightmare on Elm Street, like Will Smith did a song about Nightmare on Elm Street before Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, when he was getting started on his hip hop career.
That's right. Do you guys have the song?
No, I don't, but we're going to save it for probably a later episode because it was one of the later movies where it was originally supposed to be released with that film, but it never did. But I just had the idea done that maybe we should talk about at some point then once we get to whichever Nightmare on Elm Street film was supposed to have that song.
Yep.
Will Smith had the biggest fall from grace.
Well,
Yeah.
yes. Well, yes. It's not good what he did, but he did try to reach out and apologize. So
Mhm.
I do believe he is sorry. You know.
I commend people for being able to own up to their mistakes, because we are human, and
Yeah.
so
I mean,
kind of
hey,
hear them out.
hey, I just owned up to mine. You know, I admitted I forgot to send you that link. You know, so
Exactly, and that just makes you a better person. It just does.
right.
Okay, so where did you guys leave off before I
What's up, sir?
jumped in and interrupted Lee?
Oh, okay. We were just talking about Mark Patton, who played Jesse in this film. You know, the hero in this film. And
Mhm.
I told Nick about the shocking news that I found out on Saturday. I didn't think I would be starting off this podcast when I scheduled it on a serious note, but what? I forgot to send you.
What Jeremy said.
Oh,
Yes,
oopsie.
guilty. Yes, I know, Jeremy. Guilty. But,
Don't cut yourself, Don.
I know. Is that sharp?
it's fake.
Oh,
It's fake. Don't worry. Nothing.
yippee.
It's all good. But yeah, Jill, I was just telling Nick that Mark Patton, who played Jesse, he's actually been hospitalized on Saturday because of his AIDS complication.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm just hoping that he's doing better. You know, he actually
yeah.
is. You know, I mean, AIDS is not like as serious as it used to be. I mean, obviously, it's still not good to have. You know, but there are medical advancements in treating it. You know,
Mhm.
so as long as he's getting expert care, he still has a fighting chance.
Exactly.
So I'm hoping he's doing all right now.
And
Same.
Jill, one other thing, just all related to, I told Don this, but that corner of our basement, by the way, that was soaked. It's all dried up now, so I'm
Oh,
officially
good.
back at the desk in my office. So that's why I'm in a
Okay.
different seating position than what I was last week.
So no more squishy socks. That's good.
Exactly. So, but you know what? I'm just gonna say this quickly. When we used one of the vacuums to get rid of like the type of vacuum that you soak water up of,
Mhm.
and we just kept finding all this debris and dust, like all this gross stuff. And it's obvious that this area hadn't been cleaned in years. So, as crazy as it may sound, despite it being an accident, I think this was kind of a blessing in disguise because it actually cleaned up an area that we don't clean very often.
That happens to
But
me in the kitchen when I spill stuff. I end up having to clean that part of the floor. And I'm like, oh man, I need to clean this entire floor.
yeah,
Right.
but in the end,
So
it's
here.
all dried up, and I'm back to where I normally am.
Here, that's bad. My friend's best friend in real life passed away from AIDS in two.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
My condolences. My condolences, Paul. Yeah, I actually
and,
you have and I just remembered I actually do have one relative who died just a few years ago. He was I think he was in his 70s at the time. He did have AIDS. Yeah, his name was Billy. He he went through like this experimental treatment to attack the AIDS virus, but but at the same time it like caused it like was like a side effect. It caused him to have like a slim figure. Like he was like losing weight
so he lost a
dramatically.
lot of weight.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know like the whole story, like what this was, but apparently it's kept him alive much longer than he was expected to live. So
They
yeah.
usually say for those that are infected with it, in spite that there's definitely the risk of death, they always say too that I'm not saying it's beneficial in any way, shape, or form, but apparently people are not with the AIDS virus sometimes live much longer lives than expected. But
Oh,
eventually, as time goes on, the AIDS virus eventually claims you.
Well, did you
that's
see
true.
that American Horror Story, the last series or season? They take place in the NYC, and then they deal with something like that. They deal with that illness or disease, and plus the extra.
Oh, okay. No,
Here.
no,
No Freddy
no,
sweater today.
no sweater this
No.
time. I just only really have that mainly for the first one, Sarah.
Marcus referred to as the first male Scream Queen. Yes, I did mention that. Um, yeah, and also I like found Nightmare on Elm Street 2 listed under like on Apple TV. I think it was under yeah, like they listed it as like queer horror. I don't like using that term because I feel like I don't want to use like a term that is like could be considered offensive. You know, that's not what I'm out to do. You know, I don't want to offend people. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just surprised that they actually use that word in that. Yeah, it's kind of shocking.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, Jeremy makes a good point here. Bruce Campbell could be considered the same thing though, a scream queen. Because if you look at someone like Evil Dead, especially the first one, he's the last survivor, and he fights off the evil force. I mean, it's not a slasher movie, but still, it revolves around that same elements.
That's right. And
DJ, you're watching it right now.
He's watching it right now. Nice.
Have you noticed that DJ is like always saying he's watching this? Is our show like inspiring him to just give up everything on his schedule?
I'm the same way. I'm the same way. When you guys bring up stuff that I haven't watched in a while, I'm like, I'm gonna watch that tonight.
And here I want to say, DJ Evan, have you watched the part where you get to see Robert Englund without the makeup? Because in the opening scene where that bus is going out to drop kids off, Jesse's on that bus. Robert Englund is the driver of that bus in the opening scene. You could see him in that one shot where no makeup on, just plain face.
It's when he opens the door, you can see his face profile turn to the angle of the door.
It's one of two appearances of him without the makeup. I mean, not just that movie, but also eventually the fifth movie too.
That's right.
And when he was still living.
Yeah.
Well, that was in Freddy's Dead Final Nightmare.
Oh, I thought that was the fifth one.
Yeah, the sixth one is where it showed a lot more.
Okay.
Yeah. But yep. And so here. Oh, yep, it's like I said, yep. So that. So that opening scene was really set the tone for the film as well. It's like everything's normal except the bus driver doesn't stop. He just keeps on going. Bus driver was Robert Englund's character, Freddy. He
the bus driver, right?
Yeah. Yep. He actually becomes Freddy and drives it into the middle of nowhere in the desert. And I've actually given that this film takes place in Ohio, I'm wondering what part of Ohio would have a desert.
I think that it looked like it filmed in Death Valley or something like that, or where the Joshua Trees are.
I'm betting it was actually filmed somewhere in California or somewhere in that area. Because like Ohio, it's the Buckeye state. It doesn't really have any. I mean, it does have rural areas and farmlands, but not really.
It looks like California to me.
Yeah, it's a lot of those movies were shot in California.
Oh, here the director has done other horror movies such as Wishmaster 2 and Arachnid. Yeah, Jack Shoulder. Yeah, and I know who you're talking about. Yeah, Arachnid I saw like ages ago, like back when I was a teenager on like a sci-fi channel, like back when I used to watch that. But yeah, like it was not the best movie. I will say that.
Okay.
Jeremy says it made him think of the Grand Canyon. It's that part where the bus is stuck on the stones. I mean, isn't that more like Utah?
Seems like it. Like,
it did kind of look more like Utah. Utah's, say that.
Oh yeah, Utah's got dozens of so much desert area. I mean, I've driven through deserts before, so like all over the western states. But here, there was a man who stopped a bus and he didn't even had a scratch on him.
Superman.
Clark Kent. That's
there
him.
You go.
But he demonstrated, and Mark Patton demonstrates his the reason why he was called the Scream King back then. Right when you hear him waking up off screen with that off screen, like he has that scream going off. Yeah, like and then we're introduced to his family, where his dad is played by Clu Gulager, who I have seen in several different horror films. So my favorite one that he's been in is The Return of the Living Dead. He plays Bert in that.
Yep, I know exactly what that is.
Yes, I love Return of the Living Dead. So
Me too.
We got to get a cut. We got to do an episode of that soon.
Yes, and I should mention Nick Tyler did say he wanted to join us on the podcast for that episode. So if possible, I would love to have him on.
That would be nice.
Yep.
Jeremy said he's going to be driving through that area this summer.
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm. Sweet. No, but I should mention that Clu Gulager, he actually did pass away last year.
Oh, he did?
Yes, he did. So, yeah, I was pretty bummed about that. I mean, he lived a long time. He was like in his he was in late 80s, early 90s, I think, when he died. But
now that you say that, I actually do remember when he passed. Yeah, I remember. Hey, Adam, what's up, Adam? Good to see you.
Hi, Hefty.
Hey, Adam. Weirdly, I am watching the Return of the Living Dead video. RN? What?
Wait,
right now.
Oh, right now.
Right now.
Okay.
Oh,
I didn't know
there
that.
it is. Okay, yeah.
That's awesome.
That's kind of a funny coincidence. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, that's like one of my.
Go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, I was about to say Return of the Living Dead. That's one of my favorite horror comedies. One of my favorite zombie flicks. It's another gem of the '80s. Seriously, the '80s are just full of classics.
I thought Evil Dead was your funny, like sort of horror.
Army of
Evil Dead?
Darkness is Army of Darkness
Army
is
of
my
Darkness.
is my favorite horror comedy. Yes.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. I mean, another good horror comedy, Little Shop of Horrors. Even though it is primarily a
Yeah.
musical, there is still some humor to it, especially from Bill Murray.
Lots of humor.
I'm just gonna say this, by the way. I mean, with Hef TV on, when we eventually do an episode of Return of the Living Dead, we're gonna have to eventually. We're also gonna have to have Adam on for that one.
Yes.
So
oh, here, Jeremy says that he was 93 years
93.
old.
Oh.
Yep. So Kugler, he plays Jesse's dad in this, and was like, and when Jesse was being terrorized by Freddy, and staying up late, and he like the dad was suspecting that Jesse was like doing drugs, because that's always the number one thing always one of the number one conclusions that parents consider in these movies. Always.
I hate that they just assume that all the time. Like, you're going through stuff. He's going through things. Like, it didn't have to be your nightmares coming true, but it could have been anything he's going through. And you're just going to assume like, oh, he's just on drugs, or, like, it shouldn't be the first thing that you think of. Like, I would think, well, what happened to you? What physically happened to you?
Yeah, no, yeah. Like the first thing he says, like right when the cops bring him home after Schneider's death, the first thing he says, "Okay, two things before we go to bed. Two questions. What are you on? How long have you been using? Who are you getting it from? Like you just assume. I mean, that's just the conclusion he just jumps to, without thinking, and without like giving him a chance to explain in his own words what's been going on.
I think I get it because didn't they send him home without clothes? He was running around naked.
Yeah.
So I think that's the main reason they thought he's got to be on drugs to be running around the neighborhood naked. But I wouldn't just assume that.
Yeah, he could have been just like, Dad, I swear, a robber just came and stole my clothes.
Or I would just think the worst, like that he was taken somewhere and hostaged, and like as a parent, you just think the worst of what your child went through. And so he got away. And I mean, that did happen in Dahmer, right? So someone got away, but then they brought him right back to him.
Right.
Yep.
He was walking around naked as well.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I liked about too is that unlike most of the other movies, the person having the dream is screaming while they are sleeping. You don't see that very often in the other movies.
Screaming?
Yeah. I mean, like actually having like an actual nightmare itself, like how a nightmare is supposed to present itself.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't even remember my dreams anymore. It's just like all I remember is going to sleep, nothing but darkness, and just waking up. That's it.
You guys don't wake up like with the like as if you're still in the dream? Because I think I have dreams that are like this, like how the victims are in Nightmare. Because I mean, I remember night terrors. I remember my parents coming in my room going, "Who are you talking to?" And I guess I'm just having a really bad nightmare. Like they go, "You sounded like you were fighting or arguing with somebody," and they go in the room and I'm dead asleep. I'm in a nightmare, I guess.
Yeah. Jill, if you remember, we talked on the phone at one point that I had a really horrific nightmare that I still remember. So I've had those kind of nightmares where I can remember them clearly. At least two of them I certainly have a fresh memory on.
Mm-hmm. They're night terrors for sure, because it's like you almost can't tell the difference between your dream and what's really happening.
The remake was okay, really. It wasn't as good, the Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
It wasn't as good as the original, but I will say this, it's not as bad as the remake of Psycho.
Yeah, that's so true.
I will say that in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake's defense. I mean, it had a good cast, but it just wasn't enough. There was like more to it that was needed. But Robert Englund was like my biggest my main reason for not liking Nightmare on Elm Street remake is because Robert Englund wasn't playing Freddy Krueger. Like it's like I understand like when the person doesn't want to come back, you try to replace him. But Jackie Earle Haley, as great of an actor as he is, he just couldn't recapture what Robert Englund had delivered.
No.
Yeah.
Sarah
And
makes a good. I was just going to read Sarah saying, dreams manifestation is a type of therapy for the unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could be like your real memories are trying to store itself. They think there's some connection to that, like the brain trying to put it in a place to file away. So then it becomes these dreams, like it's sorting itself, like classification, as far as memory, because every little thing that happens to you, every conscious thing that happens to you, it has to get stored as a memory somewhere.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, here, Shaun of the Dead is my favorite zombie comedy, and you guys have got to be a FearCast podcast episode on it. I would love to join you guys on it.
Ooh, check that out.
Shaun of the Dead is awesome.
I love Shaun of the Dead. Yeah, Simon Pegg, Nick Frost. You can't go wrong with those guys.
Hard to believe that
Shaun of the Dead
20 next year.
Oh,
20.
God, man.
2004.
I know, 20 years. I mean, that came out the same year. That came out the same year as the Dawn of the Dead remake, which I absolutely love as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Yep. And and as far as when I wake up, I don't really wake up. I never wake up screaming or anything. But I will tell you this: I actually wake up in the best way possible. You know what that is? Waking up. I have Black Veil Brides to wake me up. See, listen to this. Okay, can't have any more of that. Otherwise, it gets copywritten.
I would just dance in my dream if I heard music like that. I wouldn't even wake up. I'd just be dancing in my dream.
I gotta ask, because this just brought up something. You guys ever have that? Well, Don, I know you said you can't really dream, but Jill, have you ever had that kind of dream where you hear like some kind of song like in your dream and you don't know what it is, but you wake up and it's like in your head and it's like you have like sometimes you have the lyrics and then you try typing it to see if it's a real song and you can't find. I get that all the time.
No, I actually
songs.
It'll be songs that I've heard in my life, but I might not have heard it in years or who knows when. And I'll be like, God, a song stuck in my head because of the dream. And then in order for me to remove it, because it'll just play in my head, I have to hear the song. I have to look up the song, listen to the song, and then it goes away. It's weird.
Yeah,
it's bizarre.
But that is bizarre. But yeah, guys, that's my alarm every single morning. I have like multiple alarms there, like 5 minutes apart from each other, like where I just hear those guys. Black Veil Brides tells me to wake up, so I wake up.
I used to have a different song that I would usually play as my alarm, but I lost it a long time ago, though, sadly.
Oh, do.
Oh wait, it was what am I saying? No, I didn't lose it. It was actually the theme song of Ghostbusters. I'm just gonna be honest here. That's my alarm.
Classic song right there.
It's also my ringtone, of course. I mean, I have to have it. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've had several different ringtones like growing up. I mean, Back in Black by AC/DC. That was back when I was in high school. Let's see. Oh man, there are like so many that I had. But anyway, back to this movie. So yeah, Jesse just has moved into 1428 Elm Street, Nancy's home, and this takes place 5 years after the events from the first film. And he immediately like bonds with a girl from school, Lisa, and she's like, helps him like move in. And I gotta say that one scene where he was just like dancing in his room, putting like unpacking everything, that was comical. I actually laughed at that.
He had a lot of underwear scenes.
He did.
You sure like getting out there.
Oh my god. Oh man, I have a song.
Can you imagine like if you brought that up to him like years later? Just imagine like saying, "Hey, I remember you in this scene." I can only imagine like watch his face turn red.
Yeah. I have Halloween Ends on DVD, but I'm not going to say anything about it. Oh, let's see. I mean, not the best Halloween film, but I will say there are worse films to own than that. I will say that. Far worse, my friend. Here, Nick Ulrich says, I have the Smallville intro song as my alarm. Oh, I loved Smallville.
Hmm.
Yeah, I actually met the man who played Lex Luthor in that. Not Michael Rosenbaum, great guy. He went to the same. He actually visited my university because he was an alumni, Western Kentucky. I met him, shook hands with him. Yeah, we had a great talk.
Who is Things Network? Jeremy, is that you or who is that?
Yeah, who is that?
Out of curiosity. Oh my God. This ringtone, Danny Phantom. Oh man, I remember that show. That was a good
that was
show.
my childhood.
That was one of like the last good shows.
Hi, Greg.
It was like one of the last good ones of Nickelodeon. So that brings back memories. No, seriously, that was a good show. Oh, it's Greg. Good to see you, Greg.
Oh yeah, Greg. Hey, Greg. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Yeah, that show that started back in. That was back in like 2004.
No, I think it was even earlier than that. I think it might have been 2002. I think.
Let me check, because I know Disney was releasing a lot of new shows back then.
I know.
Or not,
and the reason why I'm saying 2002, Don, remember I told you how my dad's been going through a lot of VHS tapes? We have a tape with like the recorded new episodes from that time period.
Yeah, here it's 2003. Yeah, because then Nickelodeon and Disney were releasing a lot of new shows back then. Nickelodeon and Disney, yeah, it was.
Those were the days.
Oh yeah. Michael Rosenbaum and Tom Welling are doing a rewatch podcast for Smallville. Oh, awesome. That'd be great. That'd be great to see, because Tom Welling, I've only seen him in like one other thing aside from two other things aside from Smallville. He was one of the sons in Cheaper by the Dozen, the one with Steve Martin. And also he was in that terrible, god-awful remake of The Fog.
Oh, and I'm sorry to admit I saw that movie, and I deeply regret seeing that movie.
Oh yeah, my dad and I saw that in theaters. We hated it.
Oh, I look back now and think, what the hell was I thinking? I just love how everybody here is like revealing like where their alarm themes, like their ringtone alarm theme song is.
I know. I started that. I started it.
Look what you did. Look what you did. We're trying to talk about Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, and everybody's here talking about their ringtones that they use in as alarm. Okay. Good job.
So Batman Forever theme. It's like, it's a decent Batman film. Just don't get me started on Batman and Robin. Anyway. Back to Nightmare on Elm Street 2. So they come across Nancy's diary, which was left behind, and which talks about Freddy Krueger, which turns out to be the man that's been haunting Jesse's dreams. And so ever since then, the dreams just kept on escalating to the point where Jesse is getting confronted by Freddy, telling him to kill for him, to put on this glove and just go around and just do to everybody.
How did he get the glove back? He found it, or
he found it. It was still stored in. Wait, is there an echo?
There was an echo, but it's gone now.
It is? Okay.
Yeah, I don't hear it anymore.
I don't know. But he found the glove. It was still stored in the place where Nancy's mom had stored it in the previous film. So yeah, that's how he got the glove. It's like, why did they even bother keeping the glove? Like some sort of a memento that they killed Freddy? It's like, bury it somewhere. Get it out of there.
Why not like burn it or crush it or just like vaporize it? Like there are so many ways that they could have destroyed that glove.
Well, you can't. Well, burning metal is not that easy. Like simply, you got to take it somewhere and have it melted completely.
Take it to
like an incinerator.
Incinerator, yeah.
Exactly.
Or steel mill.
Exactly. And let's see. Nightmare 2 seems to explore on more social fears. Yeah, that it does. Like I said, it had like a lot of homosexual undertones throughout the film, and like it had, like it wasn't like back then. This is like back at a time when homosexuality wasn't as well accepted as it is today. I mean,
yeah.
I'm just thankful we live in like modern times where everything's we're more accepting towards people's differences. Yes.
You still got to give credit though that again, in spite of that, not many films, not just in the slasher craze, but not many films had that type of theme in movies at that time. Like you said, it was because it wasn't very well accepted as it is now. So you have to give some kind of credit that they moved to something that was considered rare in those days, to have that homosexual theme to it.
It's like a risk.
It's like a risk, and they want to do something different compared to how most movies were being made at that time.
Yeah, that's right. They threw in some undertones, like I said, how Coach Schneider was like hanging out at S&M bars, and then when he catches Jesse hanging out at there, has him, run laps, and then hit the showers, so bringing a kid that you just busted back to the school at nighttime. I'm wondering how the principal would feel about that.
Well, I didn't think that he went there to hang out. I think he saw him going in there, so he followed him in, right?
Oh, wait.
Like he trailed him.
I
He wasn't hanging out there on his own.
No, you're right. Now that I'm remembering,
he saw the coach and he was like, "What's that about?" And so it's like your curiosity kills the cat. It brought him in there, and he was tempted to see, follow it, but it was more like a rumor. Like I think he just thought it was a rumor, so I think he just wanted to answer his own curiosities. Like, I wonder if what they said about him was true. I'm gonna go check this out. And then he goes in there, and it's supposed to be like this seedy club, so overdone. Right. as far as the cliche goes.
And yes, Nick's unfortunately even today. I was just responding to Nick's comment.
Yep, I was just about to say that. Nick's over. People don't accept others who are different, not just like homosexuality, but I'm talking about race, religion, gender identity, disability. Yep, that applies to disability. That applies to me.
I still deal with that to this day.
Yeah, given my autism, that's Nick, you as well. Yes, so I know exactly what it's like to be treated negatively just because I'm different than most people around me. So that I can relate to.
It's more accepted today, but unfortunately, you still have some of those bad apples out there.
That's right. There comes a time in your life when you got to just find a way to deal with bad apples. Because it's good that we're making progress. Autism being made more aware, but at the same time, you gotta make sure you don't let the bad ones get you down. Yeah,
we put it this way: we've gotten a lot better. But you're still going to have some of those you're still going to have some of that negativity follow you or cross your path.
Yes. Ignorance and bigotry is still alive and well, but things are better than they used to be.
Yeah, unfortunately. If you watch Halloween Ends, I've also watched Blood and Chocolate, a werewolf movie from 2007. I don't think I've heard of that one.
I have to see that still.
Blood and Chocolate. I remember that being in high school. I do remember that one.
If I saw it, I just don't remember it. So I would rewatch it just because I do try to give all the werewolf films a chance.
2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Forward, 1 step back.
Yeah. I don't think anything will ever completely dissipate, like you said, bigotry or anything like that. Like racism, any type of things that are just one-sided. Just because some people just don't want to change. They don't want to adapt to change.
I mean, there's just people. I feel like just people out there just want to find a reason not to like somebody. They just look for something they don't like. And just judge them negatively for it.
And similar to what you just said, Jill. I mean, actually, the best way I could even describe it when it comes to such, prejudice and bigotry and that kind of thing. The way how I see it is, even years from now, I don't think we could ever fully, truly win against this whole battle with it. I think we could just most likely slow it down. And that's basically where my satisfaction comes from, for that is that at least we could slow it down.
Well, with ignorance, you fight ignorance with knowledge, education, educate people. And when it's talked about the views, perspectives, then that's how maybe you can start a change on people's ideas.
Right.
And that's really all we can start to do and hope for that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So just glad things are better with me now than they used to be when I was a kid. So,
yeah.
I mean, people did accept me, but not everyone.
Not everybody.
Yeah. So yeah, I wanted to let's jump back into this. So yeah, Freddy basically wants to take control over Jesse to and come into the real world to continue his murder spree.
Would you guys excuse me just for a minute? My laptop's just about to die, so I'll be right back.
Oh,
and my
Okay.
cord is just across the basement, so I won't be long.
yeah,
Okay.
You should do what I do, Nick. Keep your laptop plugged in.
I know I'm plugged in right now.
I was in such a rush to get everything ready because again, it was literally right as I was cleaning the entire desk and stuff like that. I forgot about the cord. So
hey, no worries, man. I was just I was just joking. I was joking around. So no, it's all you're good. Yeah. Hey, we're not going anywhere. So Nick, Nick never learns his lesson.
We do this every time. No, just kidding.
Yeah. But yeah, as far I always keep my laptop plugged in. I mean, I keep it plugged in just when it needs to. I don't do it all the time because it messes with the battery, and I did learn that the hard way with my previous MacBook. Better hurry, Nick. They're leaving you.
Oh my God, what have I missed? Nick never learns. I never learned my lesson.
That's what happens when you leave the room. We talk about you.
Yeah, I thought I heard a word or two about me.
Oh man. But, so I wanted to get back to the whole to Schneider punishing Jesse a bit because yeah. So right. So Schneider is then right when Jesse's in the when they're in the showers, Jesse becomes possessed by Freddy, and then he takes Schneider out in this one of those undertone styles, like Jeremy was mentioning, but he stripped Schneider naked and then just whipped him with a towel. I'm just and then goes in for the kill, just right there on his back, and then.
Well, have you ever got whipped with a wet towel on your thumb? Because it's not fun.
I haven't. Well, that has never happened to me, and I don't want to find out.
In the locker room, yes, I have.
You know what? Just oh my God, Jill.
It happened.
What? Well, thanks for sharing us that.
I was so triggered. I'm like, ouch.
I never thought it really hurt that much, to be honest with you.
I mean, I only saw that bit on The Simpsons, and that's all I needed to see because I remember when Homer, you remember when Homer became a hockey coach and was chasing after that German kid Uder, and he's like, "Hey, that kid!" Hey, he's like,
I remember that one.
Yep. He says, "We all need to treat each other with respect," and then he turns and looks at Uder and says, "Hey, that kid's got man boobs. Here, look, who has a wet towel?" Then he starts whipping it with it. I'm like, "Oh my God, Homer."
Hey, it's Homer. What do you expect? You know what? I'm just gonna say this now since we're talking about an 80s film. Best time to do something like that in the locker room is have that song "Whip It" by Devo playing in the background.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh my God. Oh, here. Thanks, Ulrich. That I remember that. Oh yeah. Oh man, Simpsons has been going. Oh man, Simpsons has been going definitely the longest show ever now since 1989.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh God, 34 years, man.
87 if you count the pilots.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Tracy Ullman Pirates, yes.
The Tracy Ullman, yeah.
Yeah. So here.
Freddy
so Freddy is interested.
You go ahead, Reed.
Well, yeah, he does a little bit. He does it. It's it appears to be both in this film. He possesses Jesse and basically uses Jesse on the physical plane, to manifesting himself into the real world. It shows that, especially when he kills Grady in his bedroom, when Jesse runs to him after when Jesse was making out with Lisa and they had a demonic tongue coming out.
Oh,
I remember that.
She didn't even see the tongue. She didn't even see it.
Yeah, she had her eyes closed the entire time.
Didn't even see it coming.
No. Then she went over to then he went to Grady's place saying, watch me as I sleep because Freddy might take over. And then Freddy ends up taking over and just kills him there. Then, right after he kills him, like Freddy like stops possessing him, just appears as a reflection in the mirror. And then
that's quite. I was gonna say that's quite the incredible shot to make it look like that it's a different reflection. Because I mean, you do that now, you could use CGI for it, but in those days, it's like, I still sometimes wonder how on earth were they able to do that. Sometimes
there is an editing. There is an editing technique that I know of that's basic, like you could pull it off, where you say like there's one shot here, you just want to have just that they crop half of that to make it look like he's appearing inside the mirror with two different shots. Two different shots. One where it's only going to show Freddy appearing in the mirror, and one where it's Jesse standing in front of the mirror. So
and it's edited together.
Yes,
that makes a lot of sense now that you say that.
Yeah. So it's a. I'm not sure if that's what they used exactly in this film, but that is one of the ways.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Yeah, sometimes it's more simple.
Jeremy was saying earlier, when you get haters, pay them no attention because they don't matter anymore.
That's right.
What's going on, Joanne? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in.
I hear The Simpsons is good at predicting stuff. Yes, they are.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Oh man, and let's see. And I should mention when Jesse killed Grady in his bedroom, he had like a whole ton of posters of music artists like from the 80s. Most of them I've never even heard of, but the one that I did hear of was I think his name was Lit. I always have a hard time pronouncing that. Limal or Limal, something like that. I know that the most famous song that he did was Never Ending Story.
Really?
Yeah, he did that song. Yeah, Never Ending Story.
I haven't seen that movie in many, many years. I really don't know how it goes anymore.
Oh yeah, and that film came out the previous year as this film did, 1984. That to me, 1984, like I said before, biggest year for cinema in the 80s. All kinds of classics from that.
I was gonna say, didn't that come out? I was gonna say, didn't that come out around the same time this movie came out? So, but now you kind of answered my question.
Just the previous year, 1984. This came out in 85. Yeah, so they did not wait long to make a sequel in Nightmare on Elm Street. Once New Line Cinema hit the ground running with this film, they really wanted to make as many sequels as they possibly could because of the whole slasher craze of the 80s.
Yeah, because all the other slasher films were doing that, but also the ending of the first one pretty much left the ending kind of open, knowing that Freddy's not completely gone. So they were going to bring him back in some way, shape, or form, one way or another.
Oh, yeah.
Possessing Jesse is so terrible and terrifying that I couldn't stop thinking about it. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's a horror. Wow. Oh yeah, good movie. Yes, Never Ending Story, another great 80s gem. And Jesse being possessed by Freddy and making him commit all these murders is just, oh my god, that makes Freddy hit a whole new level of sadistic and evil. And
it shows that he's getting a lot more powerful than what he was in the last film. It's like each film, it's like he becomes stronger and better. And it's almost like as if he kind of learns from his mistakes that he made, that he tries coming up with something new as an attempt to continue his murders. In this case, very much like paying homage to obviously demonic possession films. In this case, it's possession that he's interested in this time, not just hunting people down in dreams.
Well, most possessions though, it's like you have to accept that whatever entities coming in to possess you. But on this case, I don't think he ever accepted it. It's just he started wearing that glove and it would kind of took him over.
Yeah.
Because Freddy kept having him find that glove, and it's against Jesse's will, has him going after people. One night he almost went after his little sister sleeping, but then luckily Jesse won over his will and just said, no, it's go back to sleep. He said that to her, and just finding that, oh my god, he has the glove on, just gets rid of it. But
yeah, like he gets confused thinking like, wait, am I about to slash my sister to death? And it's like kind of snaps him out of it for a second.
Yeah, it's like he regained some control right like in the nick of time.
yeah, thank God for that. And here, Mr. Nice Guy said, "Do you like Freddy versus Jason?" Yeah, I do. Yeah, I mean, sure, it has just a few flaws, but it's an enjoyable experience nonetheless. Yeah, I mean, two of the biggest horror villains of all time clashing, like that's something that many horror fans have been wanting. And oh my God, this year marks the 20th anniversary of that film.
That's right,
20
2003.
years. And it was the last film that Robert Englund had played Freddy. Well,
yeah,
officially in the official series, I mean, he has reprised him just a few times as cameos in TV shows, like Goldenbergs. Like I mentioned, he played like Freddy in a dream sequence. So.
Well, also don't forget too, in the I think it was the late 80s, early 90s, he also even had his own television show, which was Freddy's Nightmares. Although in this case, for those that don't know, he's not the main character. I mean, he is, but he doesn't play a huge role in it. He's nothing more than a host whose show it's no different, obviously, like from Creep Show or Tales from the Crypt. It's an anthology series, but Robert Englund plays Freddy Krueger, and he's the host of the show who just tells the stories.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, Jill?
She'll be right back. I'm sure she has to grab something. You thought Michael Jackson?
What? Because like, oh wait, I'm in my sister's room about to kill her. Oops, my bad. I think that's what he meant. Here, wait, let me get to.
Sorry, yeah, that was my bad.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, no, it's okay. The only greatest music artist of hard rock for me is AC/DC. Yeah, they're a great group. All right, I saw them in concert back in 2008. Great show, and yeah, it was like an amazing experience. But luckily, thank God, I had those earplugs in because my parents were afraid that I was 16 at the time. My parents were afraid I was going to lose my hearing from that show.
Oh.
And, they're loud. That's what I've heard. Yeah, they're loud.
I remember them calling me. Like they said I didn't hear it. They when I got out of the show, they like said, "Hey, we called you a few times. Didn't you hear your phone ring?" I'm like, heard my phone ring. I couldn't even hear myself think while I was in there.
Dreamscape is the portal. Look who decided to show up. What's up, Brad?
Hi, Brad.
Hey, thank you for stopping by.
In Nightmare on Elm Street 2, bad for the bird scene. What?
The lovebirds. Like, remember it was a scene in the living room where
I don't like that scene.
I forgot about that scene. I forgot about it.
Yep, it's where hold on the comments. Hold on for a second. Okay. Where Jesse was like in the living room with his family, and they draped like the cloth over the cage of the lovebirds, I guess, to make them go to sleep. But instead, one of the lovebirds kills the other and then escapes the cage and like pecks at Klu Gulger's face, flies around, dive bombing everybody, and then just out of nowhere it explodes in flames. And I was like, yeah. And I was
exploded.
I was confused by that. I was like, how did it just spontaneously combust like that? What was that?
I noticed that throughout the movie, there was all these sequences of like lightning, storm, fire, explosions, like that scene with the bird.
I'm guessing like Freddy just has like this ability to like conjure things, making things happen in the physical world, in the real world. Like I'm just wondering, like I felt very iffy about that. Just didn't know.
Yeah. And yes, Sarah, I was going to bring that up. Yeah, Robert Englund, I don't know if you guys see, he now does basically a paranormal series on the Travel Channel. It's called True Terror with Robert Englund. I watched a few of the episodes. It's a pretty good show. I just have to say, though, about the show that he did. I mean, it's a great show, but I'm really surprised that when it first aired, it looked like one of those shows, like obviously you would see around the Halloween season, but it was instead aired during like the middle of the summer. But other than that, it's a good show. If you haven't seen it, Don, you should check it out. Have you seen it, Jill?
Not yet.
You got to check it out. You guys got to see it. It's good.
Hey, Joanne.
Freddie. Oh, this is what Don was asking about. Like, where Jill was, and Brad's like, Freddy got her.
Oh.
He did. No, he got me, but he got me nuggets. Ooh, ooh.
The finest nuggets at McDonald's.
Oh my God.
That's a good one.
What about the new one coming out? A Nightmare About Brad's Ex.
We'll make it
Oh, my
happen,
God.
Brad. We'll film it.
Yeah.
Don will be Freddy.
Yep.
Who's going to play the X, though? And who's also going to play Brad?
Nick is
I
Brad, and I'm the X.
I'm Freddy.
I had Unsolved Mysteries vibe. Yeah, it did. She's talking about True Terror with Robert Englund.
Sure did. Jeremy's face palming. Okay.
Yeah, like
Freddy's face reminds me of the surface of the McDonald's chicken nugget. Oh my God.
Oh, yummy. Yum, yum.
I mean, hey, you know what? I will say this. He would make a good meal for a very edgy cannibal out there. Any cannibals that are still in existence, he probably would make a good meal for them.
Oh my God. What?
Oh my God. Talking put on the wig and being the axe. Well,
no, I'm playing her.
Well, you know what? Here's actually an idea. Jill can play the axe, and Don, he could play the stunt double.
I have done stunts in films. I mean, there was actually one film where I took a shotgun blast.
Really? You never told me that.
Yeah, it was just a stunt, like obviously, or no real shotgun hit me. So, yeah, I just fell back and I just like fell back and just hit the ground on my back. But
you should show us that. Do you have it?
No, sadly.
Oh, I would have been cool to show on the screen.
Yeah, I just loved doing effects where I just get shot. You know, I just love pretending. Just
I used to do
nuggets are better
because the character that I played was could not be affected by bullets. So it was fun just like being that hardcore guy, just taking all those bullets and just keep on going.
If I may ask, how many times? Go ahead, go Jill. You go first.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna ask, like, so how many times did they have to shoot that scene? If I may, was it just like a one-time scene, or do they have to reshoot it more than once?
It was 2 or 3 times. You know, like it was like 2 or 3 times, and I had no problem doing it more than once. It's like I could hit the ground and keep on going. You know, like I'll do it as many times as you guys need me to.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, I basically Terminator.
I basically was kind of like the Terminator. My role was I played a shape-shifting creature, and in that film. So, yeah, this one. So I played a supernatural entity, one that only has just this glare to him, just like this.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's like you're the Terminator.
Yeah.
Except without the sunglasses, of course.
I used to practice death scenes. Like I thought if I ever go into acting, which I did like drama when I was younger, I did plays and things and musicals. And I was like, I want to have a death scene in a horror movie or even if a student film, you know? And so I would practice death scenes for myself, like holding my breath and like how I would look. And I would practice it, but I've never been able to act for it. So someone needs to film me doing a death scene for all the times that I practiced doing it.
Yeah. Here, Nick Ulrich, he said, Don, I got a question for you. Do you want to watch the inside of you with Michael Rosenbaum on your own time? I could watch that. You know, like I'm interested in seeing other things that he's been in. It's a podcast. Oh,
podcast,
you know now that you mention it, I did hear an advertisement about Michael Rosenbaum being on a podcast, like having his own podcast show. But I just couldn't have the time to find it. But I'll get to it for sure. Oh, here.
Boy, I was just good. My luck, they would have done it 100 times for laughs. Yeah, I'm sure they would have done that in this case with Brad. It's so like the thing.
Well,
so you were the thing?
Not
no,
exactly.
you were.
My ex,
you said you were a shapeshifter.
You know what? Who would probably play a better X too is actor Yul Brynner. Because I think Yul Brynner would probably do better as playing the X.
Oh my god! But What I'd like to know, this is one of the things that drove me insane about the Nightmare on Elm Street series. The one thing that I could not understand is starting with this film, Nightmare on Elm Street 2. He's also done this in part 3. Where Freddy shows up and like this was shown like when he kills Grady and also the pool party scene. Freddy, his razors come out of his fingers instead of like he doesn't have an actual glove on. The blades just come out of his fingers.
Yeah.
What happened with that? Why did it? Why was it like
Why
that?
did
Taking
it
some
do that?
inspiration from X-Men with what was his name? Who had the knives come out of his
Wolverine.
Wolverine. Yeah, I mean, you kind of wonder, did he somehow become Wolverine from X-Men?
No, except Wolverine, his the blades didn't come out of his fingers. It came out
They
to
come out of
the
his
spaces
knuckles.
between his knuckles. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I can see what you're saying.
I feel like they did that scene just to give you like these creepy feelings, because it's like when you start to imagine how it would feel, metal coming out like that, like it gives you the creeps, you know, like the
I
feeling.
think it also gives like a
sensation.
supernatural. I think it might also give like a supernatural feel to show that he really is this supernatural being, and is, in spite of looking like a person,
But he could
he's
just stuck
not
with
really
the
of
glove.
this world.
But he could have just stuck with the glove. I just thought it was kind of weird how they just made that change. Like when he was brought into the real, maybe it had something to do with him being brought into the real world. But then he was brought into the real world in the first film, and that didn't happen. So
It's a little confusing because it's like a transformation, like how werewolves transform into their beastly self.
I know. I mean, a few people may have theories about it, but personally, I just don't get it. You know, like that's one of the things that's driven me crazy for like ever since I first saw this movie.
Wolverine wore the blades better.
Oh yeah, Wolverine. Hugh Jackman wears them better. I don't know who they could ever have. I'm glad that he's coming back in the new Deadpool. Oh,
oh man,
yes.
When is that new Deadpool movie supposed to come out? I gotta ask, because I'm all ready for the next one.
I think it's like in 2024. I think.
I've got to wait another year. Come on.
Well, they haven't started yet. Hugh Jackman is going on his diet now. You know, like get in shape for Wolverine.
Okay.
Yeah, we even have, because it's been a while since he played him. He hasn't played him since Logan, and that was supposed to be the role, the one where he was retiring from the role. But now he's good. He's going back again. In
Freddy's stead, now I'm playing with Power. Super Spencer, great graphics. No Freddy, none of this is great. The Axeman. What does he mean by that?
I'm sorry, Nick Solrick.
With fingers.
Yeah.
Oh,
a jackass jockey in high school.
Nice. Oh, here.
Oh, I showed those earlier.
A guy who takes so much pain and punishment and get right back up. Yes, that I've always been able to do, because true story, 15 years old, was riding my bike down the road through a cemetery. It started raining. It got wet. Ground got wet. I tried steering, fell off and rolled like 5 times, just slid across the ground. Like I was going fast too. But then I got back up. Nothing, not a scratch.
How did you?
I have no idea how that happened.
How did you even I don't want to say derail, but how on earth did you kind of fell off the bike?
I was going too fast into a turn, and it just fell off and just slid off across the ground, rolled like 5 times, and nothing, and not a scratch. I just got back up and instead of being hurt, I just got back up and kept riding like nothing had happened. Okay. It's like, yeah, no, it was crazy.
Skinwalker, Nick makes a good point.
Could be. That's what I could have been.
No. I think it was referring to what we were talking about earlier. But Skinwalker is more of Navajo legend, and that more is involving shape-shifting of animals. Yeah,
that's true.
Deadpool is Wade Wilson, and Deathstroke is Slade Wilson.
That's true. Yeah, Deadpool was inspired by Deathstroke, the villain from DC. With Batman and everything. But Wade Wilson was always meant to be comical, and I just seriously, Deadpool, love that movie. I loved it ever since I first saw it in theaters. Couldn't stop laughing when I watched the movie. I drove home laughing.
And we did the same thing when we went to go see Deadpool 2. It was just as great. I think I liked the second one better than the first one. It was so damn funny.
Yeah. No, Brad, 15.
15. I was going to say, I did not hear 50. But Mr. Nice Guy. Oh wait, I was just going to ask. You know what? I was just going to show Mr. Nice Guy's question. So is Ryan Reynolds back in the next one? Is he? Please tell me yes.
Ryan Reynolds, I'm pretty sure he is. Nobody else is
Okay.
going to play. Nobody. They're not going to replace him as Deadpool. No way.
There's no way. You
No.
just can't
No.
without Ryan
No.
Reynolds.
No
He
way.
wants to be James Bond, though.
He does?
Yeah, I think I read that somewhere. Yes.
I gotta say, I know we got off topic. I gotta say right now, I can hardly imagine him being James Bond.
He can do it.
Well, it would be hard for me to take him seriously after what he's played with Deadpool.
Yeah. Oh man, and I want to say,
more like a Teen Titans villain.
Yeah, I only mentioned Batman because I've seen him in Batman games and shows. So yeah, that's why I mentioned that. But yeah, he was known as Slade in the Teen Titans show. I remember
that. I remember watching that show. That was like one of the last good shows on Cartoon Network before it eventually sucked.
Great show. I will say, great show. Do not watch Teen Titans Go.
Don't.
Oh.
You don't.
I already have.
No, how could you, Jill?
Oh, I pray for you. I pray for you.
I'm just gonna say one thing. I say this a lot, Jill. I'm sorry. You know, and Sarah can't see him as James Ryan Reynolds as James.
Well, he plays in that, like, the Assassin's Wife, or what was it called? The Assassins movie. And I thought he did good.
Watch 6 feet
he was in Blade
underground.
Trinity.
Is that what it is, or just 6 underground with
underground
Ryan Reynolds?
Oh yeah, Buried. That's what it was called.
Okay,
I think. Here I want to go back to like the party. So Freddy was also manipulating things in the party before he even like took over Jesse. Like right before Jesse was being taken over, like he was locking the gate. He was making the pool hotter, and I just liked that part where the pool just heated up to the point where it was on fire. I'm guessing, what did they do to make the pool on fire? Did they put like gasoline in there or something? Like for the
gasoline? Maybe it wasn't water at all. It was just gasoline.
Yeah, it's like you have to do you have to use like some kind of a chemical to put a fire on water. So yeah, like
you use
it has to be transparent so that you can't like see any liquid. You can't see it like in the water. You know, whatever chemical.
Yeah,
it is.
There's a chemical out there that you could use for what, you know, like burning water.
I was thinking the barbecue, like if they're grilling because it's a party, then the stuff from the lighter fluid, it could have fell in the pool.
Yeah, it could have been lighter fluid too. Maybe not even been gasoline.
Yeah,
but either way, it will catch on fire even if it's in the water.
Yeah, Freddy was like causing random fires to appear to like trap kids inside the party, and even like heating the gate so they can't open it, and everything left and right. He was just clawing everybody, like just. And then it gets to this point where this one guy who I swear was going to be like a psychiatry student or something, psychology or something or other. He was like confirmed, like going up to Freddy, like real calm, like saying, "Hey, it's okay. You know, like nobody's going to hurt you. Just tell us what you want. We're here to help you." And he's like, "Help yourself." And then just throws him and just knocks that part of the grill off where a flame is coming out. And I just love that shot that happens right after that, like where he's just like this. "You are all my children now." I love that bit so much. I actually made that the thumbnail for this video, as you can see.
I can see it, yeah.
Yes. And here. I wanted to go back to
Wolverine had a badass appearance in Death Battle, puts up a great fight against Raiden from Metal Gear.
I remember that. I've been wanting to do more reaction videos to Death Battle, but the last one I did, where it was Jason versus Michael, it got blocked, and I was so disappointed by that. I know, man. I was so upset with that. You know, I mean, I reacted to a Death Battle once before. It was Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil versus Frank West from the Dead Rising games. It's like, you know, they haven't blocked that video, so why this one?
Yeah, I just don't get it either. DJ also says he wants to be Ghost Rider.
Yeah. Yeah, like I feel iffy about them casting Nicolas Cage as Ghost Rider. I mean, but that's just that's just
anything involving Nicolas Cage, it's always going to be something funny with it. I was just watching him actually just the other night, and it's not a horror movie, but he was in that movie Matchstick Men. You guys remember that? When he had the pill problem.
I will always but I will say this as far as Ghost Rider, it's not as bad as that terrible Wicker Man remake. That was an insult to the original.
It's an insult. But again, the only good part out of the entire thing is with Nicolas Cage. No, not the bees. Not the bees.
I knew you were gonna say that.
What is that? What is that?
Even though the bees were made with horrible CGI, and he said, "Oh, they're in my eyes," and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, no, they're not, Cage."
Oh man, that's what I love about Nicolas Cage. That's the only good part. He just freaks out he just has these freak out moments, which you always see in a lot of these movies that he's in.
Well, do you think he's gonna make a good vampire though on Renfield?
Oh
he
yeah, Renfield.
is. Oh
yeah,
my God.
He is Dracula in Redfield. He really does become a vampire.
I gotta see this when it comes out. I just got to.
I think he can do it.
Oh.
Maybe. I did like him in Kick-Ass.
I also liked him in that movie. What was that movie called? It was where he says that famous line, "Put the bunny back in the box." What movie?
Con Air. Con Air.
Why did you put the bunny back in the box?
Dr.
Phil, yeah, with Matchstick Men. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You make all these weird noises in that movie.
Yep. Oh man, but so like I will say this, Lisa, like this whole pool party, like I don't know if I mentioned it takes place at Lisa's house. Because she's like, I guess the rich girl of the film. Like, because I was about to say, Jesse, you just moved into a new town and you're already in a relationship with a rich girl. It's like, wow.
Yeah, they had like a mansion.
Yeah, they had like a mansion, pool in the bag, hot dogs on the grill, and that reminds me of the 4th of July parties we have at your place, Nick.
It's kind of in some way, yes.
Where it's without this.
Yeah, either way, you know me. I'll take the credit for it. The only difference is I'm not that crazy high school girl in that movie. So, but I'll still take the credit for it either way.
Oh yeah. As long as there's no burnt up, not like razor glove wielding maniac showing up, his parties are great. So.
Well, I'm just gonna say this now because I know we're gonna have another one later during the summer. We'll talk about that later.
I just think it's funny the part in the pool scene when the parents turn off the light finally, and then they're like, "Yeah," and they start partying really loud.
I love that.
As soon as the light goes off,
it's like the old school music for that the dad was playing. Like the second they go to bed, the kids like play the great stuff, like and that was stuff that they want. And the more I look at these characters, the more I just think, yeah, this film is totally 80s. You see like the big hair and all that. All the guys have back then the mullets, everything.
And the short shorts.
Much longer hair than what I got.
I mean, I'm kind of close to that in a way with my hair.
Yeah, I mean, I've never had extremely long hair ever. Like I have never had a mullet or anything. I mean, the only thing I had during my childhood was just a bowl haircut. Before I decided, you know what, I got to do something with this hair, man. I've had this same haircut for like 25 years, so I just spiked it, and I used to have. I actually did used to have facial hair. I used to have like a soul patch during my late high school and during my college years. I will say that.
My hair has changed so much. I mean, obviously I got long hair, but I actually have it buzz cut. And I'll tell you guys this right now. When I did have it buzz cut, people said I looked like Curly Howard from the Three Stooges.
Oh, man. Yeah, I only had a buzz cut once. That was from a botched haircut.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know that feeling.
Wait, what's this? If anyone tries to get me during the 4th of July party, I would dodge and he'll fall in the pool.
just Matrix dodge him, Neo style. He comes at you with the blade. You just yeah, he comes at you with the blade, just like dodge him, like from the Matrix.
I can kind of picture it right now. If you made that scene with the Matrix style, like this. You know what? One of these days I should show that funny clip I found of, which clip I'm talking about, the Matrix, one of the jump scenes. I ought to show that one of these days.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of the Matrix, you know that in Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, there was an orderly at the hospital that the film takes place in. The orderly Max, he is played by Lawrence Fishburne, who played
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Morpheus.
Mhm.
Morpheus
Yeah.
from the Matrix. Yeah, he was like about
Morpheus has
20.
done so much.
Yeah, he was 26 at the time that Dream Warriors was made. Yeah, so and he was credited as Larry Fishburne in in Nightmare on Elm Street 3, not Lawrence Fishburne.
Nice.
He was kind of like still an unknown actor at that time period,
Right?
before eventually
Oh, yeah.
starting, appearing in more films. Now he's like in a lot of stuff, like so much. Of course, I'll just point out one of those things that he's been in is aside from the Matrix was, and this is a horror series which we should at some point cover, Don, is he also played one of the detectives or police officers in the series Hannibal.
That's right. Yeah, Hannibal, great show. It's canceled way too soon.
I know they could have at least gone for one more season, and that was 10 years ago that the show started. Like they've been trying to revive it ever since. Like there are people out there that are not giving up on it.
Yes. Oh, here. DJ Evan C said, "Hey Don, can you react to Ghost Rider versus Lobo on Death Battle because it's my favorite?" I will try. I will tell you this. I want to. But at the same time, I just want to make sure. I'm hoping to God that it doesn't get blocked like my last one did. It's like I want to do more content it's like I've been wanting to do more of these and also music videos, like reactions, but they just YouTube they've been so much stricter lately with copyrights. So I want to do it, but I'm just hoping it won't get blocked and leave you disappointed. I don't want to disappoint people. I hate that. It's like I want to give people what they want, but at the same time, I don't want YouTube to give me, block my videos, give me copyright strikes, and whatever. When I have absolutely zero bad intentions with this, it's like meant for criticism, and like that's all I do with my reaction videos. If it's copyrighted stuff, it's meant for criticism. That's it. Free use.
Right.
But hey, don't worry, DJ Evan. I will try. I will. This coming week, I'll definitely work on it, and hoping it doesn't get blocked. So, yeah, I'll do it, man. And so, right after Freddy says, "You're all my children now," and then it's 50-50. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, that sounds like it to me too.
Yeah. So when right after Freddy goes on his little rampage, he's like phased by the sight of Lisa. I'm guessing that's like Jesse trying to take control. So it's like a conflict going on between for control. It's Freddy and Jesse. He's like so they track him back down to the boiler room. I forgot to mention this. There was a scene earlier on where Jesse and Lisa had traveled to the power plant where that boiler room was at, where Freddy had worked at. That boiler room is where Freddy had taken and killed 20 kids when he was mortal, when he was one of us. And so then she tracked Freddy down to that boiler room, and outside there it was being guarded by two monster-looking dogs that had human faces on there. That was like a big WTF moment on there.
That was gross.
Yeah.
Oh, check this out, John.
Idea for the 4th
DJ
of July.
had another idea.
I
forgot. I know what you did last summer was set around. I forgot that it was set around like the 4th of July.
It is. It's like that is a great idea. I was considering that, and I was also considering Uncle Sam.
I'll still say this: if we do, I know what you did last summer. I probably would encourage to do the sequel, but do not go for that third one. I'll always know.
I knew you were going to say that. I'll know.
Do not do that. Go for the sequel, but not that other one.
Yeah, I will say this: some people give. I still know what you did last summer. Crap, but it did have some redeeming aspects to it. Like redeeming qualities, such as Jack Black, an early role for him.
Yep.
But I will say this: it is a gem compared to "I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer." I hated it when I hated "I'll Always Know." Hated that when I first saw it as a teenager. I still hate it now. I consider it to be one of the worst sequels ever. I mean, it was straight to video. It didn't get a theatrical release.
You know what, Don? I'm going to tell you this really quickly. Is that remember how I always keep saying how my dad's been like looking over through old VHS tapes? He found VHS tape containing a commercial of "I Still Know What You Did Last Summer" when it was still in theaters. So it was kind of cool to see the promos for it when it originally came out.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool, man.
Wait, don't go looking for Uncle Sam evil version.
Working for Uncle Sam? Oh, yeah. Don't end up doing his dirty work in that film.
Oh, okay. I was trying to understand what Nix was talking about. Not sure
I
didn't get the originals for it.
Oh, here.
Try reacting to Nickelback's music videos.
He means reacting. He reacting to some Nickelback. Yes, that's what he meant. Yeah, I'll consider it. You know, because I personally like Nickelback. You know, they've had some good songs that I've listened to through high school. So, and I also like how Chad Kroeger, the lead singer, he did the song "Hero" for Spider-Man back in 2002.
Yeah,
that was a good one. That was a good song.
You should also do a reaction to. I was gonna say you should also do a reaction to, and I showed you this video before. Is that Imagine Dragons video Bones with the zombies in it? You should do a reaction video for that too.
Maybe, yeah, because I was thinking about reacting to a zombie video that was like a POV, like parkour escaping zombies. You know, like it's like one of those. Yeah, I always thought about doing that.
Oh man, this is not a bad idea, Jeremy. Do a reaction video to my stories.
We'll see, man. And because the thing is like I'm trying to figure as I get these requests, I'm always picturing scheduling in the head. Let's see, what should I react to first? Let's see, do I do this Monday? No, I'll do that Tuesday. I was trying to figure this out. You know, balance. I'm balancing that along with my my everyday life. You know, my time with my family, with work. You know, everything. But
just write it all down.
Yeah, I always do. So that's one constant thing I'm always doing when it comes to reaction videos. So yeah, I'll continue to keep the list going with this. Yeah. And here.
You were talking about the. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
I was just having a thought on one of the last things we were talking about.
Go right ahead.
When he said Lisa brought him to, or no, she didn't bring him. Well, she brought him originally, but then she went back to the boiler room to go look for Jesse because he took off after the pool party. So she knew that Freddy had something to do with why he's changing or acting the way he was. She knew had something to do with the glove, the boiler room. So she went to go look for Jesse, maybe try to save him from Freddy. And she sees the dogs with the faces. And I was thinking, I don't know why, but I thought of the scene where in the Neverending Story, when he goes to go to the riddles, and then it's like the two lions with the faces are talking to him, giving him riddles. And so I don't know.
That movie.
I don't know why I thought that, but they kind of look like dogs, you know, with the faces. And so
they're like chimera. You know what? There's a creature in Greek mythology that kind of is possibly based on the chimera, which is like a combination. It's like a combination of a lion, a dragon, a serpent, and a goat. I think almost. Yeah, chimera. It's like, oh man, I think that's what
I remember. I know
a lion, goat, and a serpent creature.
And it's like the Sphinx. It's like the Sphinx, you know, like the Egyptian Sphinx. So it's got a face.
Yeah, I've had to kill creatures like that in God of War games.
So I don't know why, but that's what I thought of. Even though it's grotesque, it's a grotesque version of the Sphinxes. But it was like the dogs with the faces. I was like, oh, that's going to give me nightmares.
There,
I was right, by the way. I just looked it up.
There, Don, do you have the Freddy hat? No, I don't. But who did you say had a Freddy hat, Nick? Was it Jeremy or was it you?
Jeremy.
Jeremy was asking if I had it because I had the sweater.
No, Jeremy has a fedora hat.
Jeremy has the hat, yeah.
Jeremy has the hat. Nick has the sweater. I got the glove. So.
And I was right, by the way, about what I was saying earlier. Yeah, chimera. It's part lion, part goat, and part snake. So I was right.
Yeah. So that boiler room scene. So it's like Freddy is far more powerful, is getting more and more powerful, and how to stop him with the power of love. That's basically what it is in this film.
It broke him down.
So Lisa went up to Freddy, knowing that Jesse's still in there, then kisses him, and then Freddy, it starts to deteriorate, and all that's left is Jesse.
Yeah, I thought that makeout scene with Freddy kissing, I was like, oh, that's gross.
Yeah, but only to the next day was kind of a couple weird moments, like where that friend that Lisa had, like was constantly shown throughout the movie. I forgot what her name is, but yeah, she told Lisa, hey, by the way, awesome party last night. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, it was a great party. No, nothing beats a good time of watching your friends getting slaughtered by Freddy Krueger. Yeah, nothing beats that.
And everything catching on fire.
Yeah, exactly. Seriously, like did she have no memory of what happened after that?
I think she was being sarcastic.
Guys, I hate to say this, but we're probably gonna have to start wrapping things up because I saw
yes,
Greg.
After this one last thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
So then, of course, the film ends with her saying, "Don't worry, it's all over." Then Freddy's arm comes to her, and then the bus drives into the desert, exactly like in Jesse's dream in the beginning.
Yeah, same desert.
Yep, same desert. So
Ohio desert.
Guys, I hate to say this, but the next show is going to start. Greg is messaging us saying we're going to have to wrap it up. So, in closing, I'm thinking next week, depending on if everybody sees this, I'm hoping to do an episode on Megan. If we are all able to see it by then. If not, then we'll cover Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. So yeah, Nick and I are setting up an event on Saturday to go and see Megan. So
which I got to talk to you about as soon as we get off here. So
okay.
I do kind of want to catch up on Dream Warriors because I do like Patricia Arquette. So
Patricia Arquette,
I don't know. I'm leaning towards that.
And just really quickly, just before we get off, is once again, I know I've been pushing it several times. I'm gonna have to push Nick Files back once again because the reason why I haven't been doing the show is, like I said, I'm finally getting back to finishing my audiobook series that I originally created in October, and all I'm just trying to do is trying to get this done. So the sooner I have this done, the more time I can make presentations. I am working on some as of right now. I just don't have them all completed. And also I finally started getting to work on my office area upstairs so I could finally have this area cleaned up so I could actually do more work. So there's just a lot of stuff. It's a combination of cleaning and also getting this audiobook series out because I'm just trying to get it out as soon as possible because this is one of the more tougher stories. There's 14 stories in this total, and I'm only at story number 5, so I'm going as fast as I possibly can to get this done. So as a result, there will not be an episode of Nick Files on Wednesday. For Thursday, which, by the way, for Criminals and Villains, we've now officially changed the title of the show. It's now called To the Grave and Back with me, Lois, and Rosie. And we're going to be having a strange conversation. We're going to be talking about Ed Gein, and somehow, I don't know, Rosie came up with this. We're going to talk the differences between Ed Gein and Pennywise the Clown from Stephen King, which I don't know what the connection is between the two of them.
I'd be happy to be on your show.
And Supernatural talk. I don't think we have anybody on once again. I think it's just going to be an open mic chat. And the Frighteners will be back. I don't know what we're going to be talking about the Frighteners. So I guess we'll leave it up. I'll leave it up to them. So, but yeah, that's what's going to be happening this week. But I should have my story, my new series of stories done real soon. I'm going as quickly as I possibly can. So that's all I have to say.
I wanted to rewatch Conjuring also. I wanted to rewatch Conjuring, so when you do your Nick Files, I'll be more updated.
Nice. Yeah. Well, you already the Enfield. Wait, are you talking about Conjuring 2 though? Because I was going to be working on I was going to look at the next case of Conjuring 2 because I already did the first one.
That's what I mean. I wanted to catch up with Conjuring 2 for the Enfield haunting, so that way I'll be more updated on your Nick Files.
But it's like I said, as soon as the office is cleaned up and this project is officially done, I promise everyone, you will see more episodes of Nick Files. There's just so much going on. I'm left behind on some certain things, and I'm just trying to get back to getting everything done. So
Okay.
it's been quite a tough journey for me, but I'm getting there.
All right. Nice. So, yeah, we're going to have to wrap up this episode here. And thank you guys so much for watching. Like, great to have you on Nick and Jill, as always. And so, everybody, all my viewers, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next Tuesday, same time at 8:30 Central, where we will be discussing either Megan or Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. So be sure to tune in, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.